What is the creepiest experience you've had while alone at home? My wife was out of town visiting her sister and took the kid and the dog with her. House to myself. I'm going to eat like crap, watch crap on TV, and crap with the door open. Basically, a bunch of good crap. Sun started going down and I was in sweatpants, binging through some DVDs. Next I looked up and it was dark outside. Figured I should shut the blinds as I'm shirtless in sweatpants eating chicken wings. As I went to the first window, I saw a random dude walking up the front sidewalk to our door. I quickly ducked out of view. TV was still going in full view of the window by the front door. Doorbell rings. Doorbell rang again. 2 more times. I then heard some rustling of the bushes underneath that front window. I snuck out, avoiding the view of the window, and upstairs to a room with a view of the front of the house. The dude was looking in the downstairs window. He could clearly see the TV playing. After a few agonizing minutes, he walked back onto the sidewalk and out into the darkness. I decided to stay upstairs and watch TV up there. Some time later I wake up on the couch. It was a little after midnight. I had fallen asleep watching TV, turned off the upstairs TV and heard the noise of the downstairs TV still playing the DVD menu music. Half asleep, I walked down the stairs, turned off the TV, hit the lights, then walked back upstairs to hit the sack. I had been in bed for probably 15 minutes when doorbell rings. I bolted up in bed, fully awake. The bell rang again. Then there was some knocking. I crept out of my bedroom and back to the room with a view of the front of the house. As I looked out of the window I saw the same guy from earlier walking off the front porch and back onto the sidewalk going by the side of the house. I wondered what the hell was going on when I heard knock on the back door. The guy had to open the gate to our backyard to get there. My wife was always on me about not locking the back gate because our back door deadbolt wouldn't fully lock, leaving only the lock on the doorknob. I went to the bedroom and peeked out into the backyard through the blinds. I didn't have a view of the back door but could see the rest of the yard. After 3 or so more rounds of knocking, I see the guy walk back to the gate, open it, and leave the yard. I never figured out who that guy was. He was wearing a baseball cap, jeans and a t-shirt and wasn't immediately recognizable. He never came back. I chalked it up to living in an area with rampant meth use. I'd heard similar stories of encounters with strange people wandering the larger community, but not in my immediate neighborhood. Needless to say I didn't sleep the rest of the night. I rode out the darkness, sat upstairs with a softball bat and chef's knife nearby. This actually happened a couple nights ago. I was home with my 2 dogs and my 2 kids, but they are both under the age of 4. It was 9 PM at night and where I live it is fairly dark by then. My son came up to my bed and woke me up to tell me that one of my fiance's friends was at the door. I didn't hear a doorbell or knock, so I told him to stay upstairs and went to open the door. It was a man dressed in a security salesman uniform, and as I was half asleep in my pajamas, I was a little shocked seeing it wasn't actually our family friend. I step outside and the first question that the salesman asks is your husband home? Me getting an odd feeling since our street is not a very busy street and we don't ever really get solicitors was to tell him yes, he is on his way, when in actuality he is 4 hours away working in another city. After many questions that at 9 PM seemed very suspicious. Do you have a security system? Do you have any cameras? I started thinking about how easy it would actually be for someone to know that I am home alone most of the time. I tell the gentleman that I need to get my children to bed and right now is not the best time and ask for a card, which he tells me they do not carry cards and leaves walking down the street, not stopping at any other houses. After being shaken up all night I called the security system place in the morning for who he claimed to work for. He was a legit salesman and that morning I set up a security system with them on that call because of how spooked I was. Good sale tactic I guess, because he sure scared the shit out of me. That's certainly one way to scare people into becoming customers. Does it count if you have a child and dog with you? I was at my sister's house, babysitting my nephew and he was about 2. He and the dog were laying on the couch and we were watching a movie. All of a sudden the dog jumped up to stand on the couch, growling but moving his head back and forth, like he was trying to look in every direction of the room kind of. Then my nephew got off the couch and went to the window, which had the curtains closed and no see-through, and just stares. After he did that, the dog also went to the closed curtain and stared and growled. I loaded up my nephew and the dog and went to my house for the rest of the night. Everyone that was ever in that house alone said that it was extremely unsettling. Kids can hear things at frequencies adults can't. Same with dogs. It could have been anything from a radio to a plane flying above the property. They went to the window because the source of the sound was coming from that direction. It would be unsettling to anyone who cannot fully hear it or is looking for it. I'm 16. I was in my room with my dog getting ready for bed when my dog, 5 years old, jumped up and just stared at my closet door. I'm also deaf so I couldn't hear anything. She stood there and just stared at the closet for like 5 minutes straight uneasily while I just kinda sat there. This whole thing was creepier because I couldn't hear anything. Oh yeah, there are few things more unsettling than your dog popping up from sleeping and growling toward a point of entry. Reminds me of my niece when she was just 3 years old, stared blankly at the window and casually said, "There's a grandma outside." The fact that you said it was unsettling to be in the house alone makes me sure that that house was cursed, however I can't be certain. I was working upstairs and home alone. I heard a huge bang from the direction of my front door, then heard the familiar door open chime from my alarm. Then my dog flew downstairs barking, grabbed my handgun, one of only 2 times I've done this, announced from the top of the stairs that I was armed and if someone was there they should leave immediately. No response. Came downstairs to find the house was secure but I could hear shouting outside. Turns out the neighbors were fighting and the one guy slammed his front door so hard it triggered my own door alarm and frightened both me and the dog. The guy was a total asshole and this was one of the incidents that lead to his boyfriend kicking him out. His boyfriend came over later to apologize for the ruckus. I read this as how were you working and home, then I realized people can work from home and now I hate my job. I work from home occasionally but I honestly try to avoid it if I can. It's harder for me to concentrate and get things done. Plus it makes my house not fun and can remind me of work even when I'm not working. What was the other time you grabbed your handgun?